Ramsey County Board of Commissioners, roll call, please.
Jebin Singh,
Here.
McGuire,
Here.
McMurtry,
Here.
Miller,
Here.
Moran,
Here.
Zhang,
Here.
and Ortega.
All right, could we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Land acknowledgement. That's Commissioner McGuire.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. It's my honor to present the land acknowledgement on behalf of the board. Every community owes its existence and vitality to generations from around the world who contributed their hopes, dreams, and energy to making the history that led to this moment. Some were brought here against their will. Some were drawn to leave their distant homes in hope of a better life, and some have lived on this land since time immemorial. Truth and acknowledgement are critical to building mutual respect and connection across all barriers of heritage and difference. We are standing on the ancestral lands of the Dakota people. We want to acknowledge the Ojibwe, the Ho-Chunk, and the other nations of people who also called this place home. We pay respects to their elders, past and present. Please take a moment to consider the treaties made by the tribal nations that entitle non-native people to live and work on traditional native lands. Consider the many legacies of violence, displacement, migration, and settlement that bring us together here today. And please join us in uncovering such truths at any and all public event.
Thank you. I'll entertain a motion on the agenda of May 6, 2025.
A second.
Any discussion? Roll call.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran,
Aye.
Zhang,
Aye.
Jebin Singh,
Aye.
and Ortega.
Aye. I'll entertain a motion on the minutes of April 22nd, 2025.
So moved. Second.
Hearing no discussion, roll call.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran,
Aye.
Zhang,
Aye.
Jebin Singh,
Aye.
and Ortega.
Aye. We now have a proclamation for our Correctional Officers Week. Commissioner Sean? Oh, McGuire.
Yes.
Where do I
And
have?
I'd like to have all the correctional officers and sheriff join me up at the podium here. So if everyone would please join me. We have several proclamations to hand out. Thank you. Yeah, some of you can come up here by me. Monica, you can come up. Yes. Great. That's a good group. That's a great crew. There we go. We have a great crew of correctional officers and representatives of the Sheriff's Office, and we have our Sheriff Bob Fletcher here. We're so grateful to all the work that you all do throughout the year. Every day really is Correctional Officers and Sheriff's Day because you do so much important work, but we're excited to honor you today, and thank you all for being here. And with that, I'll read the proclamation. Whereas since 1984, the United States has recognized the first full week in May as National Correctional Officers and Employees Week. And whereas Ramsey County employs over 300 full-time and intermittent correctional officers, sergeants, lieutenants, captains, and support staff through both the Sheriff's Office and Community Corrections Department, and whereas Ramsey County correctional officers are skilled professionals who serve 24 hours a day, 365 days a year to safely, securely, and humanely house individuals within the county, often in the face of complex mental health and medical conditions, violence, and danger. And whereas last year, Ramsey County correctional officers safely and efficiently managed thousands of individuals at the Adult Detention Center and Correctional Facility. And whereas in 2025, correctional officers face challenging and potentially dangerous situations, but continue serving honorably and with dignity, regardless of violence, medical conditions, and illnesses acquired while on duty. And whereas Ramsey County correctional officers remain committed to their duty to keep the individuals, staff, and community safe, no matter the threat. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed, the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners declares the week of May 4th through 10th, 2025, as Correctional Officers Week in Ramsey County in honor of the dedicated professionals who safeguard the county's diverse populations. And be it further proclaimed, the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners encourages all of Ramsey County residents in the community to celebrate and thank the correctional officers in Ramsey County for their essential public service that they provide. Thank you so much. And I have a proclamation for both the correctional officers and who you want to give it to, and then Monica Higgins. Our director.
Can we
Community
just say a few
corrections,
words?
and please do.
I'm going to let Monica close up the show here. So,
We totally want you to say some words,
You
so
know,
thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner. There's a reason I don't have a uniform on today is I never worked in the jail. I took a different course in law enforcement, but I'm here to tell you the jail is the hardest job we have. 8 to 12 hours a day, you're managing 20,000 inmates a year in an environment that's no fun and most serious offenders that we have. We're so lucky and so thankful to have our correctional officers here, and today is the day to honor them. Ashley Bryant is here. She is the person that day in, day out is managing our jail at the Adult Detention Center. But today I want to give a special shout out to Monica Long, who will speak in a minute. Because with the overcrowding that we have going on in our jail, without her willingness to help us house prisoners at the correctional facility, we would be in a real crisis. And Monica, before I introduce Ashley, I just want to thank you for everything that you've done. A round of applause for her because no secret. Ashley Bryant has worked just about every job in this sheriff's office, and very proud of her. She's a forward thinker, thinking about how we can do things different for the inmates and for the people in our facility. So I would like her to speak, if you wouldn't mind, Ash.
Thank you. Good morning, Chair, members of the board. Today I stand before you to honor the often unseen but absolutely essential heroes of public safety. It's our correctional officers. Correctional Officers Week gives us a moment to recognize the strength, professionalism, and resilience of the men and women who work behind the walls, ensuring safety, upholding dignity, and showing up in some of the most difficult circumstances. They operate in one of the most challenging environments, balancing safety, compassion, and accountability every single day. Their work is silent but powerful, holding the line, protecting lives, and often being the one constant presence in someone's hardest moments. On behalf of our facility and our community, thank you for this proclamation and for standing with those who so rarely get the spotlight but always show up to serve. I would also like to thank RCCF on our renewed partnership that, as the sheriff mentioned, they are assisting us wholeheartedly, and it was much needed. I would also like to thank you for taking the time out of your busy schedules to come and tour the facility so you can see the opportunities and the challenges that we can together then make our facility better. So thank you.
Good morning. My name is Liz Reitz. I'm the Deputy Director of Facilities. So I oversee the Ramsey County Correctional Facility, and I would like to just echo some of the things that Under Sheriff Bryant just mentioned. So first of all, I want to thank Chair Ortega, Vice Chair McGuire, County Manager Becker, and the entire board for recognizing us here today and your continued support of the 95 full and part-time correctional officers at the Ramsey County Correctional Facility in their efforts to keep our community safe and be a positive influence on the residents that we serve. As the pandemic has come to an end, our population at RCCF has shifted. We are incarcerating fewer people, but the population we are serving has more complex issues, including severe and persistent mental illness, trauma, serious medical issues, and substance abuse histories. As this shift occurs, the role of the correctional officer also changes. Their skills to build rapport, de-escalate, and manage crisis situations have become paramount to serving our population. Today's correctional officers do far more than ensure safety and security. They serve as key figures in our criminal justice system. At RCCF, they act as mentors, motivators, and role models, often forming meaningful connections with residents to foster hope and positive change. This past year has brought significant challenges. Reopening our facility to community volunteers, supporting other facilities by housing their residents, and adapting to new norms, schedules, and staffing realities. Throughout it all, our officers have demonstrated resilience, empathy, and an unwavering commitment to those in their care. Individuals often met with indifference by society. Every act of compassion and every effort to support rather than simply incarcerate is a step toward healing, not just for individuals, but for our community as a whole. To our correction officers, your work matters. You rise to meet these challenges, not because they are easy, but because you believe in the power of change. Today and every day, we thank you for your dedication, service, and impact. Thank you.
I want to make sure you get this. Good morning. Thank you, Board, for honoring our correctional officers. You know, when I first came to Ramsey County, I came from the uniform. I wore the uniform, and I've had good experiences and bad experiences. Every time I need lifted up, I walk the floors of the Ramsey County Correctional Facility. The professionalism that our correctional officers and the support staff give to the residents in our facility is unmatched. When I was approached about helping the ADC with the long-term population, and I gave that to my staff at the RCCF, you should have seen the light bulbs that came on of how we could better the services that we currently offer. It wasn't seen as something negative, it was seen as something positive. So we are one Ramsey County, and I appreciate Sheriff Fletcher giving me the shout out, but it really is the staff that do the work every day. Thank you very much, Board.
Commissioner Jebinson.
Yes, I just want to say to just lift up all the work that you do every single day. As new commissioners, we've had a chance to tour the different facilities and meet with correctional officers and the undersheriffs one-on-one, and to really get to know the work that you do. And I am humbled by the professionalism and the dedication you have for the people that are in our custody and care. The work that you do is really difficult. And I will say that I had anticipated hearing, like we do, and as management should, advocating for their staff, for more positions, for higher pay, for greater benefits, as you all should all the time. But that's not what I heard uniformly when I met with corrections officers. It was, how can we do better to provide greater mental health supports, greater health supports, and making sure that our population numbers are where they should be for the facilities as they were built. And that's a testament to you, that in those moments when nobody was watching and you had our ear, that was where your concerns were. And I just want to say that that means so much to understand the dedication and the work that you're doing. So thank you.
Commissioner Moran.
Ditto, Commissioner Jefferson. Yeah. So what a way to honor and celebrate you today with this proclamation. You know, I want to speak to each one of you that stand before us, and just to say thank you for stepping up, for doing this work that I'm sure that is not easy, that I'm sure I would not want to do. right? But you stepped forward to do it. Thank you for seeing the humanity in this work and the people that you are here to serve and protect, right? And to recognizing the many, many challenges that comes before the body. I want to thank our director, Monica Long, also our sheriff, for creating a partnership that was much needed. We have, since I've been, have heard over and over again about the overcrowding, right? And what do we do about that? So to be able to see that we are a one Minnesota, that what impacts one on one side impacts others on the other side, and coming together to create solutions is the direction that we always need to go in, right? And so thank you for taking the lead on that. I feel extra safe this morning, as I said just earlier when I came in, of coming into this space. But again, just thank you all for your service. It's appreciated.
Let me just say that we're very much aware of the issues you're still facing, and they're pretty much on the top of our list for us. We are actively looking at various ways of how we address those issues. So I just want to let you know that we're not just letting people like Monica address these things by herself. We're working actively with partners to see how we deal with these issues. Thank you for your service.
Can we get one picture, Cal? You jump up in there.
Yeah, be sure you get me. Thanks. I don't know if you can get all of us. Can you do it? Yeah. Oh, you're so good.
Your communications will be here.
Okay, now, before people leave, can you introduce themselves and where you work? As you walk off. Start right there. Yeah, start right here, and you can go to the microphone, and just go to the mic, say who you are, where you work, and then you can.
My name is Nick Kreckler. I work at the Ramsey County ADC. I've been there for 6 years.
My name is Sanchez Brown. I work at the Ramsey County ADC. I've been there 4 years.
I'm Mike Johnson. I'm with the ADC, and I've been there 22 years.
His dad was here how many? 30? 25.
Monica Long, I have been a Ramsey County employee for 5 years and the proud director of community correction.
Hi, Liz Reitz again, Deputy Director of Facilities. So I oversee JDC and then the RCCF, and I've been here for 17 years.
Ashley Bryant, Undersheriff of the ADC, and I've been with the Sheriff's Office for 21 years.
My name is Grecia Olmedo, and I've been at the Sheriff's Office for 7 years now at the ADC.
By the way, last year we got one flag, so this year we had 2 made, so we each got one.
Good morning. My name is Mai Hing. I've been with Ramsey County ADC for 3 months.
Good morning. My name is Kezia Manning. I've been with Ramsey County ADC for a year.
Red Onstead out at the workhouse. 31 years out there, and glad to be making a difference.
Ron Sweeney, Ramsey County Correctional Facility, serving since 1992.
Michelle Landers, the Ramsey County Correctional Facility. I am the operations captain. Oh, 20 years.
20 years. Good morning. Tim Vasquez. I'm the superintendent out at RCCF, and I've been with the county for 25 years.
Brad Davis, Ramsey County RCCF, 20 years in corrections and 14 at RCCF.
Hi, I'm Julia Wardine. I've been at RCCF for 17 years.
Morning. Christopher Orlowski. I've been at the ADC for a year now. Thank you.
Bradley Borowski, I've been at the ADC for 11 years.
Brent Whitwer, I've been in corrections 13 years and 8 years at the ADC.
Tim Pika, work at the ADC, been with the Sheriff's Office for about 13 years.
Good morning, Tim Hoskin. I've been at the ADC for 25 years. Thank you.
Good morning, Steve Horgan, the Assistant Superintendent at the facility, RCCF, been in the county 32 years.
And last but not least, I'm Chad Lyden, been at the county for 20 years. Thank you.
We now have a proclamation for American Indian Month. Commissioner Jevin Singh.
And if we could have staff and community join us. And as they're coming up, I'll just get started by saying, oh yes, come on up, come all the way up. Wonderful. All right. So May is American Indian Month in Minnesota, and today marks Ramsey County's 4th reading of this special proclamation in recognition to the strength and resilience of our American Indian community. There are 111 federally recognized tribal nations that share geography within the state of Minnesota, and over 574 federally recognized tribes within the United States. This number does not include the over 20 state-recognized tribes and other tribes that are not officially recognized. Tribes are not just cultural groups, but are sovereign governments with the authority to govern their people and lands. During this month, not only do we recognize the important contributions of the American Indian community to our economy, education, healthcare, and environmental stewardship, among many other things, we recognize their knowledge, culture, strength, and resiliency. We recognize and honor treaties that entitle non-Native people to live and work on traditional Native lands. And as we strive to strengthen our well-being, cultivate economic prosperity, and enhance access for families in Ramsey County, we really must foster these relationships. Many American Indian organizations are intentionally hosting community events that are made to welcome in the greater community, to educate and connect. And it is a wonderful time for us to be engaging in those activities. It's a part of us being together and a commitment to our collective success. I also want to say that it is an honor to serve on this board, this Ramsey County board, with the Ramsey County's first Native American commissioner and Minnesota's first Native American woman commissioner. Commissioner Kelly Miller is here. And today she stands with and for her community as she does every day. So with that, this proclamation, and I'm going to have you come up. It's good to recognize our elders and bring him up. That's right. Whereas American Indian Month is celebrated every year in the month of May to recognize as an important time to celebrate the rich and diverse cultures, traditions, and histories, and to acknowledge the important contributions of American Indian people. And whereas throughout May, American Indian organizations and tribal urban offices open their doors to community and allies, inviting all to learn about their vital programs and services from perinatal care to elder support, and to celebrate together with events such as feasts, powwows, ice cream socials, and job fairs, offering meaningful opportunities to highlight the strength, resilience, and ongoing contributions of American Indian communities while fostering connection across generations. And whereas it is also an opportune time to educate the general public about its vibrant urban community and tribes, raise the general awareness about the unique challenges American Indian people have faced both historically and in the present, and the ways in which tribal nations and citizens have worked to conquer these challenges. And whereas the land in present day known as Ramsey County is located on the ancestral and contemporary lands of American Indian people and home to the American Indian people of the Turtle Island since time immemorial, and without whom the building of this county
would not have been possible and holds great historical, spiritual, and personal significance for its original stewards. And whereas the name Ramsey County uncovers the truths and longstanding impact, harm, genocide, and racism at the direction of Governor Ramsey to forcibly remove the area's American Indian residents from their homelands, and including the declaration that the Sioux Indians of Minnesota must be exterminated or driven forever beyond the borders of the state, which led to the lynching of 38 Dakota men in Mankato on December 26, 1862. And whereas Ramsey County strives to eliminate systemic racism towards American Indian people and seeks to promote practices and policies that honor the state's American Indian roots, history, and contributions, and reflect the experiences of American Indian people to ensure greater access and opportunity. And whereas American Indian people have made essential contributions to the landscape of Minnesota and Ramsey County, including intrinsic traditional knowledge, experience, labor, technology, science, philosophy, industry, arts, as well as their cultural belief systems that stipulates American Indian people as protectors and stewards of our natural environment for the benefit of all. And whereas we recognize and honor the treaties made by tribal nations and the United States government and entitle non-Native people to live and work on traditional Native lands, now therefore be it proclaimed that Ramsey County Board of Commissioners declares May 25th as American Indian Month in Ramsey County in order to promote, appreciate, healing, reconciliation, understanding, friendship, and continued partnership with the American Indian community. And be it further proclaimed that the Ramsey County Board of Commissioners encourages all residents in the community to honor and celebrate the many American Indian Minnesotans and Ramsey County residents that remind us daily of our rich American Indian heritage. We don't always read all of the proclamation, but in this time when we aren't always reading all of our histories and lifting it up, I thought it was really important that to read all of that and to make sure it's stated here publicly and acknowledged. And let's have folks introduce themselves. Yeah.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Ramsey County Commissioners. Well, it took a while to read it because it was kind of delayed several hundred years. This is probably the fourth proclamation we've had since well, I'm kind of aging myself, since 2021. We appreciate the opportunity to bring this forth. We, as American Indian people, haven't had a relationship with Ramsey County all these years. I remember, and maybe some of you do, remember Larry Cohen. One of the first engagements we had with Ramsey County was in 1998 when Judge Larry Cohen at the time, sat down and we said, we have a lot of our Indian children going through child protection and out-of-home placement, 1998. And the short of the meeting was, and he says, well, you know all the Indian people, and I know all the Ramsey County people. So why don't we get them together and try and do something about it? 1998. In my memory, and I've been active in Ramsey County for quite a while, that was one of the first times we had a engagement between the county and the American Indian people, formally. And we've been here for quite some time. And Ramsey County, of course, has been here for quite some time as well. So that was one of the first formal engagements we've had. And over time, we've built some relationships. And then in 2021, we had the first proclamation. Over time, we've been building on that, and our relationships have been growing stronger and stronger. And now we have an employee who is working stronger to build stronger and stronger relationships. And this proclamation speaks to that very well. It articulates some of the things we're working on, and it's more formalized, and we as the Indian community are enjoying a closer relationship, and we appreciate that. And from this day on, we're beginning to learn about each other. And the American Indian culture is something that is still a distance away in terms of knowing who we are as American Indian people, as Anishinaabe, Dakota people who have long lived in this particular area. It is something that we must know about, because that is distinctly different than the Western European thought and the way we live. And it has long defied the way that America has approached us. And until we figure that out, we are going to be a distance apart. So I've devoted my life to examining those two consciousnesses and trying to make sense upon. And our community has developed programs, and our people have struggled with health, education, child protection, all kinds of social programs. And Ramsey County has devoted its resources to try and improve those disparities and those weaknesses in our programs. And Ramsey County is coming to the center to join us, and we appreciate that. And one of the ways of indicating its sincerity is this proclamation and this declaration of how we can move ahead together. And I think I want to bring our sincerity to the front, as you have today with this proclamation, and this sincerity as we move forth. And I want to say that the Indian community brings forth its earnestness, and as we join forces today and we continue to show our sincerity, and we give thanks to you with your sincerity as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you, John.
Good morning. I'm going to keep it short. Buju, Sherry Reimers, Nandana Sikwe, a member of the White Earth Nation, Bear Clan. I'm a member of the White Earth, the Pine Point community. I just want to take a quick moment to lift up Ramsey County and not overshadow John's words, my elder, my mentor, our community member, and my colleague. But I do want to lift up Ramsey County in support of communion and the good work of and insight of the county managers, Ling Becker, and those that have come before her in lifting up John and our community in the good work that we're doing. And I look forward to doing much more. That's all I'm going to say. And she may gwetch for all of you and our community. Thank you.
Good morning, Commissioners. I'm Kristen Kinney from the American Indian Family Center, and Sherry and I are co-chairs of SIA St. Paul in Action, and we have worked with John for many, many years and greatly respect him, so thank you. Thank you to Ling Becker for all of your support, and I do want to mention that we're celebrating today, but this has been a very, very heavy time for the Native community. And although the incidents happened in Minneapolis, our organizations and our community are greatly impacted, personally, professionally, And so I ask that you please do what Commissioner mentioned and please take part in all the opportunities in the community this month. Showing up is huge. The community, I'm not Native, I'm blessed to work in it. I've been very honored for many years to be in this role. But there's a lot of support that could be utilized by our teams and the community, since our teams serve the community, and they need to be well as well. So having said that, though, we have invited some of our little ones to join today, too, for the first time. So I just wanted to acknowledge them. And so with that, I will pass. Thank you again.
Bonjour, Indigenous cause, Nabikuns. Hello, my name's Austin. My spirit name is Nabikuns. It means little male bear.
Bonjour, my name is Gina Carlson. I'm the Youth Empowerment Specialist at American Indian Family Center. This is my grandson. He's a little shy. His name is Caden. But thank you for allowing us to be here and doing this. It means a lot to our community, our people, and as you can see, our youth, they're learning our culture, our language, and it means a lot to me, and it brings tears to my eyes that this is happening, so thank you.
I'm Peitu Washje Mitako AP. Hello, relatives. My name's Tara Bruning. I am a citizen of the Sisseton Wahpeton Oyate. I am the Executive Director of American Indian Family and Children's Services. We are a foster care licensing agency. We're located in St. Paul, but we license homes across the state to ensure that foster families are culturally competent in providing care for our American Indian youth who are in out-of-home placement. It's an honor to be here today and be with all of you, and it's been really wonderful working with all these folks behind me and beside me. So thank you for this proclamation.
Hi, I'm Sadie Hart. I'm the Policy and Advocacy Director at the Inda Young Center.
Hi, I'm Teresa Halverson Lee. I am an enrolled member of Sisseton Wahpeton Oyate, Dakota Tribe of South Dakota, and I'm also the Director for Department of Indian Work and a resident of Ward 4 and a lifelong resident of Ramsey County. Thank you.
Bonjour, Saint Indigenous Cause, Makwa and Dudum, Gawaba, Beganikog, and Dunjaba. Hello, my name is Saint. I am Bear Clan and a descendant of the White Earth Nation. I work here at Ramsey County as a public health corps member, and I've been working with Nicole trying to support and uplift our American Indian community.
Bonjour, Ginawa. Hi, I'm Nicole Bean, American Indian Community Coordinator here at Ramsey County. I have to say, because I gave talking notes and I was like listening, and we have 11 federally recognized tribes. So that might be a typo for me for the state of Minnesota. So I just want to make it clear. And I just appreciate this opportunity to be in front of y'all. I know we were running short on time, but we can't rush time and what we want to say. And it's really important to see the generations here in front of us. And I'm just really excited and honored to be here. Meet you.
Hi, good morning. I'm Heather Capstrand. I am one of the assistant Ramsey County attorneys. I've been doing this for about 25 years. My practice has evolved into a specialty into the Indian Child Welfare Act and the Minnesota Indian Family Preservation Act. And I am honored to represent the amazing child protection workers that Ramsey County has. And I'm also honored to work collaboratively with our tribes to ensure that our children and families are safe and well cared for. Thank you.
I would also like to take a moment to just really thank Heather Capistrand, because the relationship that we have with the Child Protection Unit at Hennepin County Attorney's Office really is valued, and the care that they take with our children and families. Heather really has a lot to do with that. So if I can take this opportunity to lift her up, I want to do that. And I should also say I'm the executive director of Ainda Young Center. Thank you. Chimigwech.
I'm just going to quickly say, bonjour, everyone. You know me. Commissioner Kelly Miller. Super proud and honored to be able to stand up here with my community. This is amazing. Thank you, guys.
Commissioner Moran.
Congratulations on this proclamation that comes to you from Ramsey County. The indigenous community has been a friend of mine for a very, very long time. I think it was like almost 25 years ago or so, maybe not quite that long, that working in a nonprofit with Prevent Child Abuse Minnesota, looking to bring a group of diverse parents' voices to the table to look at the child welfare system, out-of-home placement, and how we can lead in partnership with DHS, that I went to the American Family Center on the east side of St. Paul because I knew how important it was to directly to validate the authentic engagement that was needed at that moment, you know, and was able to find some good partnerships and relationships, because I know the value of having good partnerships and relationships. And also with Ida Young, you know, that came to my district, that is in my district, and the value of the work that you do for Indigenous and all youth, really, because we have to focus on our young and our youth. And so someone mentioned the word, we are a distant apart, and the relationship that happened with Ramsey County was in 1998. But I want you to know you have some partners here in Ramsey County, and at this with this board of commissioners, you know, and my hope is that we can continue to strengthen and to learn and to gauge and to partner with each other with your leads on what that needs to look like and be. And so from 1998 to 2025, we look forward to many, 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 many more years of working in partnership with the Indigenous community and taking your lead on what that needs to look like. And so I hope that you do see a partnership here at Ramsey County, right? As we celebrate the first Indigenous commissioner here at Ramsey County. But to be clear, she's not your only partner, right? We are a team here that see you and value you and knows the values of relationships. So, yeah, I just wanted to mention that and to say that, because I believe it's important that you know that here in Ramsey County, right? And so, again, congratulations and the recognitions with this proclamation, and look forward to many, many more to come.
Administrative agenda, Commissioner McGuire.
Yes, Mr. Chair, I move item number 5, the lease agreement with the City of St. Paul Board of Water Commissioners for Ramsey County Emergency Communication Shelter. Item 6, amendment to the lease agreement with the City of White Bear Lake, 4701 Highway 61, White Bear Lake, Minnesota, for use of the White Bear Lake Water Tower. Item number 7, joint powers agreement with Minnesota Department of Public Safety, Bureau of Criminal Apprehension for participation in the Minnesota Anti-Methamphetamine Task Force Program. Item number 8, resolution to support proposed art project application. Item number 9, the terms of collective bargaining agreement with Law Enforcement Labor Services Local 349 911 Telecommunications and Public Safety Dispatchers for the years 2025, 2026, and 2027. Item number 10, the terms of collective bargaining agreement with Ramsey County Supervisors Association for the years 2025, 2026, and 2027.
Second.
Thank you. Hearing no discussion, roll call, please.
McGuire,
Aye.
McMurtry,
Aye.
Miller,
Aye.
Moran,
Aye.
Zhang,
Aye.
Jevin Singh,
Aye.
and Ortega.
Aye. Legislative update.
Sure, yes. So we have a pretty, I want to make sure we get it all in, but we haven't met for a couple of weeks now. So just to talk about all the work that's been going on in the last few weeks. So there's just 2 weeks left in the regular session with the May 19th deadline for the House and Senate to agree on their budget. And so we're all really hopeful that they get their work done. I was fortunate. I was at the Capitol yesterday, and I know a number of us, or all of us, are at the Capitol for different hearings and different meetings with legislators. And I was glad to be there yesterday to talk to members of our delegation and others to talk about the importance of our issues and the importance of not shifting the work down to counties when they pass their budget. We cannot handle the cost shifts that they're handing down to us. So we had good legislators. We met with many from Ramsey County and other important finance chairs, including Senator Kunish, Senator Marty, Senator Gustafson, John Huffman, Senator Ron Latz, Representative Hemmingson Yeager, Representative Moeller. So it was a great day to really connect with legislators that I get a sense that they want to support us. They're hoping to be able to support us, and we just want to make sure we keep reminding them of the importance of that support with our work. So thanks to all of you, because I know you've all been reaching out to legislators, and we know that matters. So thanks to all of you for all of your work. Thanks to government relations, they created a good one-page document that tells our priorities in the various omnibus bills, so that the legislators have a sense of what's in the bills that they're following and how they can most help us. So we're handing those out. They've already been delivered to them via email, and we just were reminding them about that list. It lists out the youth treatment homes funding extension, the Economic Development Authority bill language that would give us more flexibility in using Housing Redevelopment Authority funds, and other issues that we have in the legislature. So, as a reminder, the current House and Senate Human Services omnibus bills include several of the governor's proposed budget cuts and cost shifts, which would mean huge costs to the county and to our taxpayers. So we've been working hard to explain the impact of these budget cuts to our legislators and let them know that we cannot sustain the governor's budget proposals. So we're hoping that they take that seriously and work on their own budget to make sure that those don't all come through. So these cost shifts include also disability waiver services and the Minnesota Sex Offender Program. So these are just examples of the cost shifts that they're not paying in their telling us counties, well, if you're going to do it, we require you to do a lot of these things, you have to pay for them, and that is on our property taxpayers. So that's the message that we are stressing with our legislators. So we expect the Senate tax omnibus bill to come out in the next few days. The House version came out on Sunday afternoon and did not have any cuts to local government aids, which we're grateful for. So our county program aid and our LGA, our local government aid, was intact, at least in the House version. Of course, we need an increase in it, but at least they didn't cut us. But we'll see what the Senate is able to do on that. There's, of course, the federal budget is still being looked at, and last Friday, the White House released the Trump administration's proposed budget, which includes several budget cuts that would be devastating to many of the programs that we administer. And it would end, for example, it would end Section 8 vouchers and transform federal rental assistance programs into a state-based formula grant with a required 2-year cap. So it would not let it be available to everyone, but you have to apply for it as a grant, and you also have only a 2-year cap. So this will increase housing instability for those experiencing homelessness, and we are going to be letting our federal representatives know the impact of that on our low-income residents. The budget proposes reducing funding for continuum of care homelessness programs and would impose a 2-year cap on assistance to those experiencing homelessness. This is the federal budget, would also make deep cuts to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, Health Services and Resources Administration, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services. And we rely on, our Ramsey County Public Health relies a lot on these programs and the funding for these initiatives, such as maternal health programs and mental health and substance use treatment. So when the federal government cuts these programs, that severely impacts our ability to provide these services to our residents. It also eliminates the White House's proposal. It would eliminate the Community Development Block Grant, CDBG program, which we use for rehabilitation and repair programs for low to moderate income homeowners. So this has a devastating effect on the homes that we have available for people. So far, this is the president's proposed budget. Congress will ultimately decide on the final budget, so we'll be in close communication with our federal representatives to let them know how bad these cuts would be for us. So we have to be ready for some serious impacts to the state and county because of these proposed cuts, because we're not sure that we are going to be able to influence Congress, because we have seen Congress not be willing to challenge these things. But we're going to work hard on that. So the timing of the federal budget is good with the action at the state level, as legislators can realize what impact the federal government may have on us and hopefully do some prevention control there. So with that, Mr. Chair, that is the report of sort of what's going on. Like I said, 2 more weeks. So next week will be conference committees, and then they will, this week is conference committees and next week, and then, the end is May 19th. So we do expect, I think, that there will be a special session later on in the fall to deal with the federal budget cuts. And so it's not a great picture, but we're working hard, letting everybody know how these impacts affect us and our residents. So if anyone else wants to add anything, and I know that our county manager has some comments on the work that we're doing. I want to thank our government relations team. They're working really hard. They're down at the Capitol all day. It's tiring down there, as we all know. I was there all day yesterday, and it's important work, though, and I appreciate all the work that our team, Jennifer O'Rourke, Amy Waslewick, and Jolie Wood are doing down at the Capitol for us. And so I want to ask if anyone else has any comments, but then our county manager.
What's the timeline on the federal?
Yeah, that's a good question. I'm not sure what their deadlines are. I mean, it was just proposed, so it's really early for the federal budget. We've just seen that that the Congress, which is in the control of the Republicans, quite frankly, they have not been willing to challenge much of what the White House does. So when the White House puts out a budget proposal, we're worried that that's not going to be challenged as much as it should be. We'll of course have our representatives challenging it, but they're not in the majority. So we'll see. And we are hoping that enough of Congress will hear from enough people, and we're working on it with our state association, and we're working on it with our national association. We have all hands on deck, as I know we do at the county, but at the state and federal level, we've got people working tirelessly to influence and to let let our federal and state representatives know how this is going to impact counties. So I don't know what the final deadline is on the federal budget, but it's early on.
No, it's
You may know.
October 1st is when the fiscal year
Oh, good.
ends.
Is it, okay, so they have to have it done by October. Okay. Thanks.
But it'd be helpful if we had a timeline in terms of their process. Sure.
Yeah, we'll get that for you. Yeah, it
so
just
we
came out,
know,
so we'll,
you know,
just
the
came out,
federal
so we'll
process.
figure, yeah.
Okay, county connections?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Chair. Commissioner McGuire, I wanted to just build off of what you were sharing about, first of all, and discuss a little more of the state budget situation and cost shifts. And while the county has been advocating for ourselves, this has been a particular moment for us to come together with lots of other groups, and I want to highlight a couple of those efforts. First of all, on behalf of the Association of Minnesota Counties, the Minnesota Inter-County Association, and the Minnesota Rural Counties, there was a letter drafted to our legislators and to the governor's office to discuss the sizable cost shifts. In particular, the metro counties are estimating over $100 million of cost shifts based on those budget proposals. The other thing I wanted to highlight is that through our District 10 platform, which just to explain to folks, the Association of Minnesota Counties has split up our 87 counties into 10 districts, and we belong to what is called District 10, which basically represents the metro area. Thank you, Commissioner McMurtry, for being our leader on that. And as part of that effort, District 10 has written an urgent memo that will go out today to our legislators and to the governor's office. And there's a few things here that I thought I would actually read because they are so important to be able to publicly acknowledge. As I mentioned, the metro area shifts of $100 million in cost shifts. These cost shifts will require significant levy increases, placing additional burdens on homeowners and businesses. I particularly wanted to read this section about unequal burdens and federal risks. The letter will state, these cost shifts are unprecedented in scope and risk undoing the legislature's historic investments in counties made just last session. In some instances, the proposed shifts exceed a county's entire county program aid allocation. The impact would be felt not only in Metro, but across the whole state, creating systemic strain, undermining our collective progress. Moreover, potential federal reductions to entitlement and safety net programs would place counties in double jeopardy, with local governments left to fill both state and federal gaps at this time without the resources to do so. It is not appropriate or fair to balance the state budget woes on counties' backs, particularly with foreboding federal budget discussions. So the District 10 leaders have asked the legislators and also the governor to keep the unique county impact in mind as they continue to work through their budget negotiations. And I thought it was particularly poignant to talk about some of the things that counties would have to reconsider and consider cutting, and calling these as not a scare tactic, but these are really realistic consequences that counties are going to have to make. And so I know one that there's a few here that for us, we've had as high priorities, including reducing backlogs on human service programs and ensuring we have the right level of social workers, public safety. So these are real things that we as counties are responsible to do. And so the significance of these state budget implications on top of the references to the federal budget are very significant. So this letter is going to go out today. Once I have the final version, I'll make sure the board has that, and then I'll share the other letter that came through the other statewide agencies as well. So we're trying everything we can to make our case, and I continue to talk to our staff about, you know, while we're not different than the other 87 counties, being the most diverse county in the state of Minnesota, impacts just are felt differently in a community, and we need to keep uplifting that voice for ourselves. And so it's multi-tiered, the work we have to do. A couple more things, and then, you know, if folks want to reflect on that previous item, we can do that. But I wanted to just call out for folks to check our county website under news and updates. May is just a really busy month. It's going to be hard for me to cover all the great things happening, but it's Mental Health Awareness Month. There's a great page on there that has events, information, books and resources at our libraries. There's an opportunity to name our mental health outreach vehicle. It's a contest. May is also Tech Month. That's being coordinated through a lot of community partners and Workforce Solutions, but there's, you know, like over a dozen events happening in May around Tech Month. And then lastly, I just really wanted to call out tomorrow there's going to be this unique event that's being hosted by the youth as part of the Heading Home Ramsey Advisory Board, and it's called Flipping Tables Conference. It's being held at the Fairview Community Health and Wellness Hub, and it's a real unique opportunity for young people to connect with adults, to share about what they feel like might be gaps in the workforce and in the workplace, and so as well as get a lot of resources. So I wanted to particularly thank Noe Gates, Cherie Gill, Rich Lamore, who's with One Day at a Time, Angela Reed, who's with Close Knit, and Kalik Rogers with Catalyst for Systems Change, and then our own staff and in housing stability. The many organizations that will be there include Avivo, Health Source, Outfront Minnesota, Ramsey County Parks and Rec, Tubman, Wildflyer, and Anda Young, to name a few. So if you get a chance to stop by tomorrow, I think it'd be a really great event. It's from 5 to 7, or no, 4:30 to 7, and more information on our website. So that's what I have.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't want to belabor the point, but, and we got to keep an eye on the state, but the federal issue could be devastating.
Crazy, right.
I mean, it makes this dwarfs the state. My question is, with AMC statewide, you know, the district that covers Emers district, where are they at with all of this?
I will tell you, the beauty of us being so involved with our state association, the Association of Minnesota Counties, and our national association, is that they have enlisted, you know, all of our members. So 87 counties, all of our members, all of whom are members of the Association of Minnesota Counties, they have said to all of those members that have Emmer, have Congressman Emmer in, and yes, that have that have the Republican members, they're talking to them as much as we're talking to ours. So that is the charge for these counties, to talk to their own congressional representatives. They're feeling things like we're feeling them, and so they have the stronger voice than we do, and so we're sending them in, and we're doing it at the national level as well. The people that are instrumental in the committee work, we've targeted the people that live in their districts, Democrat and Republican, and the Republicans are talking to their Republican representatives to say this is untenable for counties. We cannot survive with these cuts. So yes, we've got people in Congressman Staubers, and Congressman Emmers, and So, but thank you. I mean, it's a good question. AMC is very working hard on that. So is NACO.
The reason I'm saying is because, you know, when we talk to our representatives, we're talking to the choir.
Right, exactly.
And really, we need to get people like them and stop that, and people that make a difference there are their constituents. So that's where AMC plays a critical role.
Critical, for sure. And I will say that they are doing that work, and it's the same as I want to shout out to Commissioner McMurtry and our County Manager Ling Becker on this District 10 letter, because those districts have different people that represent us in the state legislature. And so these letters that come from from all of us at District 10, the 7-county, metro area, they are different than ours, and so it's really important that we all, let them, that we let them know, and the messengers are important here, and so it may not be us, but it will be other people.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, thank you for that.
Outside board and committee reports, let's start with you, Mai Chung.
So last week I stopped by CAL, the Coalition of Asian American Leaders event at the Capitol. There they provided awards to folks in the community. I want to give out a shout out to Lu Tao, owner of Cypherside Dance School, District 6 resident. This is a dance studio that he owns in North St. Paul, in Commissioner Miller's district. But he's been making it really big. The dance school has a very diverse group of participants, several of whom are from the east side as well, and they compete as well as have dance classes. And so they've won several awards throughout this year and have also been performing at the Timberwolves games. So they were recognized for a lot of their work. In addition to that, I spoke at the Hmong American Leadership Council conference along with State Rep Liz Lee and Rep Fu Lee. They were both there, and I was also to get a quick time with them about our EDA bill. Other than that, this weekend there was the Pan-Asian Center grand opening. This is the opening of the Maplewood, former Maplewood Mall. They acquired it and have very big new visions for how to reuse the mall. And it is a very critical and important location for us as a county, being that its alternate route that we've identified along the Purple Line is that it would stop over there by the Maplewood Mall Center. So it was critical for me to and important for me to be there, but also use that opportunity to connect with folks and let them know about our plans along about our route and our investments. Thank you.
Good job. You want me to go next?
Yes, please.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Chair. We heard, Roseville Business Council heard from the state demographer, which is always an interesting, conversation. It's always an interesting presentation about, the demographics of our county, of our area, and forecasts for our state. And it was just really interesting about our diversity. We know that we are the most diverse county, and how that it benefits us, and it also presents some challenges. So it was really good to hear the demographer. Also, I know that many people were at the Environmental Service Center open house that opened, and I know that other people will comment on that too, but I know that many community members showed up for tours, received education on the service center, and learned priorities of Ramsey County from the partners who tabled at the event. So just thanks to everyone who was there. Commissioner McMurphy made comments, as did Roseville Mayor Dan Rowe and our Daniel Schmidt. So it was a great open house. There was a groundbreaking at Rice Creek Commons, so I know many commissioners were at that, so people can also comment on that. We were very excited, and we had a JDA meeting last night. Commissioner Jevon Singh and I were at, and we commented on how the excitement of that groundbreaking has really increased the comments and the calls we're all getting now about, when will it be ready for us to move into, and when will it be ready for my kids to move into? And I mean, there was all of that excitement years ago, and then now it's being resurrected again now, with people thinking that, this could happen in time for me to live there. So and it's not me live there, but for them to live there, because it's Taurus district. But it was a great event. We also I want to give a shout out to Commissioner Moran, who is speaking at the Ramsey County League of Local Government with Keith Lattimore, who's giving a presentation this Friday. So the Ramsey County League is doing their Friday monthly meeting is on Heading Home Ramsey, and the update on our people experiencing homelessness situation. And so Heading Home Ramsey Continuum of Care is a collaborative network focused on preventing and ending homelessness in our community through coordination, data-driven decision-making, and equitable resource allocation. So Keith is going to highlight key success stories, and including the development of winter warming spaces and pressure points, such as limited legislative and federal funding and the rise in homeless youth. So you can register, and I just encourage everyone. It's a Zoom call, it's a Zoom meeting, and we get representation from all of our cities, our school districts in the county, and it'll be a great presentation. And I know that Commissioner Moran sits on that, Heading Home Ramsey, so I'm hoping that she will be there. And then Rice and Larpenteur Community in Bloom. It was going to be at the Ramsey County Park, Lake McCarran's Park in Roseville, but that is this Saturday from 12 to 2. The Rice and Larpenteur Alliance always has amazing events. It's the confluence of three of our cities, St. Paul, Maplewood, and Roseville, and they're doing great work in really enhancing that community, and the Community in Bloom is a great event. So this Saturday. Thank you, Mr. Chair.
Righty. Well, I just want to lift up again the ribbon cutting and the shovels in the dirt at Rice Creek Commons. Rice Creek Commons is open for business, and we are excited about that. But I also want to just underline that May is Mental Health Awareness Month, and in light of the chair's concerns of our federal government and different statewide budget concerns and how this will impact services in Ramsey County, I focus on mental health. It's my background. It's advocacy for so much, and I just want to highlight, in light of today's proclamation around our correctional officers, just some statistics. So, when we talk about mental health, we're talking about housing, we're talking about education, we're talking about business, because it impacts so many aspects of what we do here in the county, and it impacts public safety, and it impacts our issues around housing and homelessness. If we want to support our law enforcement officers, and we want to support and increase a sense of public safety and reduce the number of people who are impacted by our criminal justice system, it is a mental health issue. 1 in 5 adults experience mental illness each year. 1 in 20 experience a severe mental illness. And 1 in 4 of individuals who live with a severe mental illness will 1 in 4 who live with some severe mental illness will end up being arrested for some reason, usually for symptoms of their illness. 2 in 5 adults in jail or prison have a history of mental illness, and 7 out of 10 of our youth in juvenile justice systems in Minnesota have a mental health condition. So when our officers say that they're advocating for mental health care throughout our system, it's because they know the population that is in their custody and care. So I am very deeply concerned about what cuts will be. We have a lot of cuts coming from SAMHSA, our substance abuse disorder supports, and many of our mental health supports come through medical assistance and Medicaid. And so these are really big issues. So if you support public health and public safety in our correctional officers, mental health is something to be paying attention to. I also want to say that I had a chance to be in community with the Venice Heights Economic Development Corporation for the Women in Leadership Lunch, and also with the White Bay Area Chamber of Commerce. It was lovely to be with our business community leaders to talk about issues of the day. And I will say it is refreshing, like when we hear our correctional officers talk about mental health. It is refreshing to hear our business leaders talk about their concerns of the impacts of executive orders on their immigrant population, on workers who are afraid of business being down, and their concerns about what that means for their communities. And they're also concerned about what all of these cuts may impact, again, on the levies and what that will mean for their businesses. So we're hearing their concerns, and it was lovely to be in community with our legislators along with our leaders. I will say I had a chance to tour the Juvenile Detention Center and our Emergency Communications Center. It is so lovely to see our appropriate response initiative and talk to our social workers who are embedding that behavioral health component within our response services. So lovely to see that going forward. And then I also want to say that we had a couple of city meetings with the county manager and myself that got delayed. One was due to illness and was a scheduling issue, but I was able to meet with one of the White Bear Township supervisors and one of the North Oaks City Council men to kind of catch up. Even though we delayed our meeting, to catch up on things. We talked about different issues around infrastructure and water and public works, and making sure that we continue to improve and maintain communication between the county and our cities and municipalities. And one last little thing that, not last, but I was able to do my very first community-based proclamation, and it was for Diane Graham-Raff. And the reason why, she's not a famous person, she doesn't run a big show, but she consistently has been working with older adult care in Ramsey County for the breadth of her career, and the Live at Home Network in St. Paul, and then ending her career at Trellis, which is our local metropolitan area agency on aging. And she supported many of our community providers in taking care of our elders. And just, it's nice to be able to recognize folks who have done the work in the trenches all of the time. It was super fun to be at the Taste of Shoreview fundraiser and at the West Side Cinco de Mayo Festival. So all good things. Yeah, it's been a busy couple weeks.
Garrison.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Last week I had a chance to speak at the opening of the Environmental Service Center, which was an amazing experience. There were over 400 people who were out there for this open house. Just to see the excitement in the room of folks, when we think about the work of climate action or environmental justice, I know it seems to be very overwhelming for a lot of folks to think of what, as an individual, can I do to contribute to making a difference on our environment. And I think that this facility in particular shows exactly that as individuals, we have a role to play. And so it was just great to feel that excitement and to see folks eager to utilize this space. And looking forward to many, many years of all the different events and activities that will be happening at the new center. I also had a chance to meet with a few folks just around economic development and business support. So I met with Dr. Jean, who's the executive director for the African Economic Development Solutions organization. They're located in the Hamlin Midway neighborhood right off of Snelling, and they have an amazing new space that they have just that they've built that has their offices on the top floor, but has on the bottom floor space for retail, for a market to provide fresh produce to folks in the community, as well as an art gallery and a community space. So I just had a chance to speak with him and learn more about not only the work that they're planning to do over the next few years, but how Ramsey County can also be a partner with them in those efforts. I also had a chance to meet with Mike Hang, who's the executive director for the Hmong Chamber of Commerce, just to get also introduced and a better understanding of the work that he's leading with the Hmong Chamber and how we can continue to partner together. On the housing side of things, I met with the folks who run Kimball Court in the Hamlin Midway neighborhood. This is a facility that is centered around supportive housing and ensuring folks who are facing a number of challenges have a safe place to live, but also providing them with a number of wraparound services to get them on the path to permanent housing. And so it was great to be able to be in the space to hear more about the efforts that they're taking, the work that Ramsey County is doing in collaboration with Kimball Court. We have a chance to work with them with our social services team, mental health, workforce solutions, a number of different areas of our county touches the work they do there. So I'm looking forward to continue to build that relationship and to learn more of how we not only are, addressing any issues that we're seeing outside those doors, but that we're keeping the people inside that space safe and supported. And then the other housing facility that I had a chance to visit was the new location for Project Home that's run by Interfaith Action that's going to be coming to the Como neighborhood. They're taking over the Best Western on Bandana Square. So it's awesome just see the work that they have been doing, but the expansion that they're going to be able to feel and the impact it's going to have on families who are in need throughout our community is amazing. I know that they have a number of community events coming up in the next couple of weeks to speak with different residents around the community to share more about the work they're doing and about what this new facility is going to mean to them as an organization. And then I will wrap up with, I know that this is a number of different commemorations and awareness happening for this month, so I'll add one more to the list. It is Small Business Awareness Month, and this Friday, to commemorate this month, I'll be launching a Small Business Advisory Council specifically for my district as an opportunity for me to meet quarterly with small business owners throughout District 3 to not only share with them a number of the different resources and programs that we offer at the county, but to also hear directly from him on the different things that we could be doing better. What are some of the gaps that we need to fill to make sure we're supporting small businesses as a county? So go out this week and the rest of this month and support your small businesses. Thank you.
Kelly?
All right, so the Metro Mosquito Control District, we met on the 23rd, so spring is here, and the Metropolitan Mosquito Control District is out in the neighborhoods and parks on a mission to protect residents from mosquitoes and make the outdoors better. Larval mosquito control operations began mid-March, and by April 14th, this is kind of interesting, MMCD had treated approximately 107,000 acres of wetland. So MMCD's control program focuses on mosquitoes in their larval stage in stagnant water. Like even a little bottle cap of water in your deck or back porch could be a breeding ground for mosquitoes. Did not know that. Learning so much.
Nina is an expert now.
I'm hoping to get there. And I've been telling my kids, dump that bucket over. Don't be leaving nothing in the yard. Materials are applied to the ground, helicopter, or backpack. In 2025, they will be using drones to control mosquitoes in all 7 counties. You can also go to their website to see if they're in your area. I just checked; there are not any helicopters today in Ramsey County, mostly in Hennepin County today. But today is also Mosquito Control Day at the Capitol from 10 to 2 p.m. There's helicopters and drones on site. Control material demo, and so much more mosquito fun. Over the last couple of weeks, I've had the opportunity to attend several community events across District 7 and really deepen my understanding of the work that is happening throughout our communities. So just to name a few, I don't want to go on. I met with NEMCA, toured the Lake Links Trail around White Bear Lake, visited the White Bear Lake Food Shelf, attended the White Bear Lake Chamber's Legislative Breakfast, and joined Tamarack Nature Center's Volunteer Appreciation Dinner, which was a pancake dinner, and it was a win because we got to get our dinner, and then we ran over to the Environmental Center, and my kids had their cookies, so it was great. I also had the chance to learn about New Tracks, which is Ramsey County's Transit Coordination Assistance Program. Wow, the work that they are doing in our suburban Ramsey County is truly amazing. I got some maps of their stops, and it's just what they're doing to support mobility and accessibility is just fantastic. Also, as part of our ongoing commissioner onboarding, I was able to tour the Juvenile Detention Center and visit the Emergency Communications Center, where I learned so much more. It's not just calling 911 and you're talking to one person. You could be talking to 3 different. It's not like Unsolved Mysteries and the old school shows you used to see. So I'm grateful to have for the chance to have connected with residents, partners, and to see firsthand the efforts being made to improve our quality across Ramsey County. So with that, thank you and meet you.
Rena?
All right, thank you, Mr. Chair. I did a few things. I had an opportunity to speak at Ade Young, which is in my district, to the Intertribal Youth Action Council, and really just, sometimes we have our own stories, right, and challenges in life, and just had an opportunity to share some of that with some of the young people there. They have an awesome Youth Action Council. Mm-hmm. And so it's always great to go back there and connect with that council and see how, I'm always trying to figure out how to connect the dots with the great work we're doing here in Ramsey County with our youth and how to help our young people see government, right, and work in partnership with them. So that was a great a meeting with them. They have some great questions too. They challenge you, right? They're not afraid to ask those hard questions. I had a visit with one of the elders in my community. Her name is Margaret Coleman. I'm going to say Margaret Muggs Coleman. She likes to be called Muggs. And she's 84 years old. She is a retired child protection worker, social worker for out-of-home placement. She is still very sharp, very self-sufficient. She lives in her own home. I'm still living in her home, across the street from Central High School. Very active, but she's also going through treatment right now for cancer. And she's been challenged because she's lived in a home for probably 50 plus years, and there are some things that needs to be done within her home, you know. And so I'm gonna say this out loud for those who are at Ramsey County who are listening, because we're trying to find what type of supports that we have in Ramsey County for our elders, whether that is looking at a new roof that she has, or a leaky ceiling that's probably comes from the new roof that she needs. I think I did see email that came across my desk around a program for elders who have equipment in their homes, like a refrigerator, air conditioners, stoves that can be replaced for free. And so please send that information to my office, because I would like to share that out with elders in my community who have like old refrigerators that can be, you know, where they can get a new refrigerator and air conditioners and things like that. So please send me that information so that we can respond to the elders in our community who have definitely put their time in as residents and constituencies and leaders.
Let me interrupt you. Max is here, so Max heard that, right?
All right.
And I think we do have some, we might have some program services.
Yeah,
Max
thank
will
you.
check it out.
Yeah, okay, beautiful. So another ribbon cutting I went to besides the, what is it called? Besides the Rice Creek ribbon cutting. And I only say it's not in my district, but I showed up because we've been working on that project for so long. You know, you hear the history of that. It goes back 10 plus years of trying to, you know, acquire that land to do the redevelopment around affordable housing and other things that we want to do, and it's now has come to fruition. And they are moving the ground, they're shovel ready, and it's happening. But I also attended another ribbon county for Walker West, a music academy. It has been a long journey for Walker West also, who have had a long history in St. Paul, and their commitment to the arts and culture and also our youth. And so a couple of things that they do, they have a vibrant out-of-school time music school for students 5 to adults. They offer affordable, accessible, high-quality instructions in all genres of music, including classical, jazz, gospel, and improvisational music. And they was able to do this work with money that they was able to get from the legislature. I must just share that I was the author of that first bill to bring in the community into the Capitol to be seen for the great work that we do and to invest in the work. And so it went finally in 2023 with the help and support of Representative Hussein and Senator Pappas. They was able to get $4.1 million to invest in the finished work of the new location of Walker West, which is at 650 Marshall Avenue. And also, the last thing, I was invited to attend an event that was hosted by Urban Roots, who is located in St. Paul, whose mission is to cultivate and empower youth through nature, healthy food, and community. Their core programs are to cook fresh market greens, market gardens, and conservation, They create economic and educational opportunities for under-resourced majority BIPOC youth, preparing them for academics and professional success while addressing immediate community needs around fresh food access and environment and well-being. So it's really good to be there to participate with and a really diverse group of individuals from the private sector, from community-based organizations, from meeting their board members and talking to a few of the elders. I have a couple of one-on-ones that's going to come out of that meeting and dinner that was held by Urban Roots, and just learning about the great work that they are doing to help us eat better, be better, you know, and look at the impact that has on new leaders who are up and coming, who can be the messengers of those messages. And I'm just going to end with, and for Ramsey County folks who are listening, I had a really, really probably intense conversation with members of the Wilder Child Development Center with CCAP that I have to talk to people about. And so we know as we talk about people coming back to work, Ramsey County is a body of women in so many ways who are mothers. Child care is unaffordable, and we do know that when people come to Ramsey County asking for requests for child care, it is necessary. Plus, it just creates good educational outcomes, a good foundation for our babies. They give them those fundamentals that they need as they are developing. And so I definitely need to speak more to someone who is over CCAP. And I will stop there.
Okay, thank you. I have no report. We're behind the 8 ball here. We have an HRA meeting, and then we have a workshop on the American Indian. And then that's at, it's supposed to be at 10:30. Then at 1:30, we have a closed session. We are adjourned.